Welcome to Chalk or Not for UFC Vegas 108. Off jump once again. Out of town. Bad audio quality. I get it. I'll be back to normal next week, I promise, but I still want to get this content out for you guys. But for this Chalk or Not segment, I'm going to be very, very brief. If you guys want to know more about each matchup, make sure you guys check out the full MMA Lawcast that I dropped earlier this week. But I'm just going to keep it straight and simple. I'm going to go bang, 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 which guys that I think are chalk-worthy and which guys that I think are not chalk-worthy. And again, this segment is quickly talking about anybody that is minus 185 or worse, hence the chalk or not. So let's go right through it. I'm going to try to put together a quick graphic as well. That doesn't take me as much time either as the usual chalk or not segment. So bear with me in that case. All right, let's get right into it. Piera Rodriguez minus 220 against Katlyn Souza. I do not think she is chalk-worthy. I think a lot of people are overlooking the finishing nature that Souza brings to the table, and she might be able to catch some sort of submission here against Rodriguez. Rafael Estevam minus 550 against Felipe Bunes is not chalk-worthy considering the cardio issues that he has. He should be able to smother and get that decision victory here over Bunes. But we know Bunes is very dangerous when he gets into his groove, and with how bad Estevam looks in round threes in fights, it would not be surprising if Bunes is able to pull off the upset. Thus, Estevam is in the not chalk-worthy category. Austin Bashi, minus 700 coming in against John Yannis, short notice UFC debutant. I think Bashi runs through Yannis. I think his power, explosivity, and wrestling will be too much for the UFC newcomer, so I would put Bashi in the chalk-worthy category. Next up, Adolfo Vieira coming in at minus 205, going up against Trishan Gore. I'm expecting Vieira to get this fight to the ground. I don't think he'll have too much trouble with Gore's power striking. I think we'll see Vieira get this fight to the ground, get to his BJJ, and find that submission within 2 rounds. Thus, I will put Vieira in the chalk-worthy category. Next up, we got Rinya Nakamura coming in at minus 405, going up against Nathan Fletcher. I think Nakamura will successfully get back into the win column, and I think he'll make it look quite dominant, so much so that this minus 405 looks chalk-worthy. So put him into the chalk-worthy category. Next up, we got Kevin Vallejos coming in at minus 460, going up against Daddy Silva. Now, earlier this week when I was plotting out my chalk or not segment, I'd put Vallejos in the not chalk-worthy category, but hearing the weight-cutting issues that Danny Silva has and knowing that he might not be able to take Vallejos' best shot, I'll happily put Vallejos in the chalk-worthy category because I don't think Danny Silva can stand up to that power. Next up, we got Elizio Zaleski going up against Neil Magny. I was considering going back and forth about this one, but I really think Zaleski has all of the tools to cause trouble for Magny here, from his kicking game to his capoeira to his BJJ advantage. I think wherever Zaleski takes this fight, he should be able to really thwart Magny and continue to show the decline in Magny's game. Thus, I'll put Zaleski in the chalk-worthy category. Esteban Ribovics, minus 250, going up against Elvis Brener. I think Ribovics is chalk-worthy here. I think he is the far superior striker. I think his durability will help him out here. And I think his takedown defense will force Brener to strike with him. And that's where Brener will be ripe for the picking, allowing Ribovics to touch him up and eventually find that knockout. Thus, I'll put Esteban Ribovics in the chalk-worthy category. Next up, we got Mateusz Rebecki coming in at minus 210, going up against Chris Duncan. I know Duncan's been streaking with back-to-back guillotine victories, but he's not going to be able to do that against Rebecki, who BJJ black belt has no neck to begin with. And I think his power and smothering style will cause Duncan a ton of trouble, and that will lead to Rebecki getting that early finish. Thus, I will put Rebecki in the chalk-worthy category. And then the main event, Tatsuro Taira coming in at minus 335, going up against short notice replacement Hyun-Sung Park. If these guys were given a full training camp, I would consider Park a little bit more. I think that kid has a ton of potential and a ton of skills, but coming in on short notice against a guy as tricky and smothering with his BJJ, I think Taira will get to his game without much issue, and I think that will lead to him eventually finding that submission against Park in the 3rd or 4th round. Thus, I will put Tatsuro Taira in the chalk-worthy category. There you guys go. Quick fire chalk or not spots for UFC Vegas 108. Yeah, I'll be back a little bit later today for the quick picks version of the UFC Vegas 108 breakdowns. See you guys then.